In this video, I'm going to cover the economic calendar, 10-year Treasury, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, S&P 500. And before I get into the technicals, like always, I'm not a professional, so please do your own due diligence and research before buying and selling. And at the same time, I do post these videos daily, so double check for the latest video to get the most up-to-date information. For the economic calendar for Wednesday, June 5th, at 8:15 a.m., we have ADP employment. At 9:45 a.m., we have S&P Flash US Service PMI. And at 10 a.m., we have ISM Services. 10-year Treasury is going down, you can see right about here, and we're at 4.324%. And then for the Dow Jones, we have an upward trend resistance line, upward trend support level dating back since 2021. And we had resistance right about here. Zoom in on a 3-month chart, and you can see 4 touch points as resistance to the top side. Now, we bounced off upward trend support level potentially, and we're heading up to the upside again to the upward trend resistance level potentially. Now for the 5-year and 1-year chart for the S&P Dow Jones, S&P 500, Dow Jones, and Nasdaq, they're showing downside potentially, but for the short term, they're all showing upside movement to bullish movement overall. This is based off the MACD line. So if I go to the 5-year chart, you can see right here, MACD line showing bearish movement to the downside. Now, again, I'm expecting us to go to the upside upward trend resistance line and then get knocked down again, potentially, to continue this channel. But that's just my opinion. I'm not a professional, so please do your own due diligence and research before buying and selling. But since the 10-year Treasury is low, or going lower, sorry, and then in terms of VIX, it is low volatility index. We're at 12.85 points. And the 3-month and 1-month and 6-month charts are all showing in terms of MACD line upside. I'm expecting us to go to the upside for the time being. Overall. Now, if I go to the 3-month chart, you can see that potentially we will be met resistance. Right now, we're at 38,711 points, and we have horizontal resistance plus colliding with the moving average, give or take around the 38,900 price point, give or take. Now, for the downside, for the Dow Jones, I don't know if anybody really trades it, so I'm going to go to S&P 500 and Nasdaq. So for S&P 500, I'm going to go over the SPY ETF, SPY. And if you look at a 3-month chart, we have we're basically at approaching resistance. So horizontally, you can see if I did horizontally right here, I'm gonna quickly draw it. You can see a bunch of touch points, pretty much at the $31 and some change price point. So it's gonna be quite difficult to pass that for today. And then even that, once we pass that, we're gonna have issues passing an all-time high above $534. I don't expect us to pass that today. And then on the downside, we'll see support at the 530. 529, give or take, and then that collides, but later on, if we do go lower, we're going to be pretty much consolidating around the 526, 527. It collides with a bunch of moving averages, horizontal support, and so on and so forth. So 526, 527. I don't expect us to go any lower. If we do, we'll find support at the 525, 524, but I don't expect us to go that low, personally. Now for the QQQ, almost same thing applies. I'll show one quick thing in case we do spike up. In terms of upward trend resistance line dating back since 2010, S&P 500 shows the same thing, but there is a breakout for the Nasdaq as opposed to S&P 500 didn't break out. Upward trend resistance line dating back since 2010, and then got knocked down underneath it again, and then we had resistance and potentially resistance again. So if you zoom in, if you were expecting us to spike up dramatically to the upside like crazy, we would be hitting resistance, in my opinion, pretty much for sure, at the $467.22, give or take. That's just average because obviously it's based off my lines, which are not perfect. And we're sitting right now at $454.37. After pre-market, it's $457.85. Now, in terms of resistance price points that we're going to be hitting, it is about the 460, give or take 459, 460, but then the all-time high as well, about the $461, $462 price point. I don't think we're going to pass the all-time high today specifically, but anything is possible. And if we do pass the 462, again, what comes into play is that 467, give or take, all-time, well, not all-time high, well, it would be an all-time high actually, because we are approaching the all-time highs again, which we set at May 23rd, 2024, give or take. But yeah, so $467, $466, give or take, around that range would be an upward trend resistance line dating back since 2010 that could knock us down. Now to the downside, we do have support at the 454, 455, but I think we could end up trickling down to 450, 449, 450. Going lower than that, I don't know. Technically, because everything's pointing to the upside, I don't think we will, but we could find support about the 447, which is a horizontal resistance level that could act as support. But yeah, that's basically it for today's video. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. If you did like it, consider dropping a like. Helps out the channel, so thank you so much for that. And if you want to be notified when I do upload the latest videos, follow me on X and YouTube. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.